July 28, 2022 voting meeting. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We do have a presentation tonight for the valedictorian salutatorian from John Jay. Jeffrey? Here. Jeffrey Shaw, he is the salutatorian. Congratulations from John Jay. On behalf of the town board, I have a proclamation for you, which I will read. Whereas Jeffrey Shaw meets all of the academic standards necessary to be declared a salutatorian. He is a role model for fellow classmates and underclassmen through exemplifying critical thinking, effective communication, problem solving, organizational skills as well. In addition to achieving distinguished grades, Jeffrey has demonstrated many admirable qualities such as integrity, hard work, determination, and a commitment to excellence throughout his 4 years in high school. And Jeffrey has many other achievements of note, such as being a National Merit Commended Scholar, a recipient of the Rensselaer Medal for Excellence in Math and Science, a dedicated member of the Science Olympiad, and president of the math team, co-president of the Math Honor Society, and the treasurer of the National Honor Society. Jeffrey was also the staff writer for the Future Business Leaders of America, and he has volunteered his time for the East Fishkill Community Library and played trumpet in the John Jay Concert Band. And Jeffrey is honored at his high school graduation ceremony, but because this achievement is so significant and worthy of commendation, the town of East Fishkill wishes to recognize him as well. The town of East Fishkill Town Board is proud to recognize Mr. Jeffrey Shaw, the 2022 John Jay Senior High School salutatorian, and commends him for all of his impressive accomplishments. And therefore be it further proclaimed that this certificate shall be presented to Jeffrey with our best wishes for his next chapter of education at RPI. Congratulations. Erica Houston, she is the valedictorian from John Jay High School. Congratulations. Read your proclamation as well. Whereas each year, an elite student meets the academic standards necessary to be declared a valedictorian of their graduating high school class. And the coursework completed is difficult, and the competition for such an honor is competitive. This student serves as a role model for their classmates and underclassmen through exemplifying critical thinking, effective communication, problem solving, and organizational skills. In addition to achieving distinguished grades, this student has demonstrated many admirable qualities such as integrity, hard work, determination, and commitment to excellence throughout their 4 years of high school. This student has many other achievements of note, such as serving as the senior class president, oh, congratulations, and co-captain the varsity soccer team. And outside of school, they pursue many interests such as playing the oboe and the symphonic band, a second-degree black belt in Taekwondo, wow, became scuba certified and self-taught calligrapher. This student is honored at their high school graduation ceremony, but because the achievement is so significant and worthy of commendation, the town of East Fishkill wishes to recognize her as well. And the town of East Fishkill Town Board is proud to recognize Miss Erica Houston, the 2022 John Jay Senior High School valedictorian, and commends her for all of her impressive accomplishment. Now therefore be it proclaimed, I, Nick D'Alessandro, East Fishkill Town Supervisor, dedicate Friday, July 29, 2022, Erica Houston John Jay Valedictorian Day in the town of East Fishkill. Therefore be it proclaimed that this certificate shall be presented to Erica for our best wishes and with her next chapter of education at Dartmouth College this fall. Congratulations. That's great. That's always fun to do. Congratulations to both of you. Best of luck. And remember, the only advice I can give you when you go to college, when you see all your other friends going out every night of the week, you won't see them there the next semester. Just remember that. Okay, before we start our meeting, I do have some announcements. Peter was the valedictorian, but there was only 2 people in his class. Hope everyone's doing well this summer. It's been very hot and horrible the last few weeks, but hope everybody's getting along well. This month I started my month with the Mayors and Supervisors meeting. This month we were in the town of Unionvale. We had a guest speaker, Dr. Miller. He's a teacher at Van Wyck Junior High School, math teacher. He does a program over there. He started this new program and does this Pi Day program. He's trying to roll it out throughout the county. So he came to the Mayors and Supervisors Association to give a little background about that and try to get more help behind him to spread this. So as I always mention, the Dutchess County Supervisors and Mayors Association is a great organization. I'm happy I take a role in it. I'm on the executive committee. We do a lot of good. We help all other town mayors and supervisors. We keep it very non-party affiliation. Most people, we don't even know what the other party affiliation is of some of these mayors and supervisors, and I think that's why we all get along pretty well. But it's a great organization, and we help each other a lot. I've been having several meetings with the Wappinger Central School District Superintendent, Dr. Dwight Bonk. I keep in constant communication with the superintendent about things going on in the schools. We have SRO at John Jay, which is the school resource officer. And of course, we have quarterly meetings with the superintendent and his staff and all the other mayors and supervisors who make up the Wappinger Central School District. We have many matters dealing with the school district. Actually, tonight we do have a resolution to add an additional SRO, school resource officer, to the Van Wyck Junior High School. We have been negotiating with the high school for a little bit. With the school district for a little bit, and we've come to an agreement, and this will benefit not only the school community, but our town community as well. And we are also building the school drop-off for John Jay High School right off of Route 52, which is part of our Route 52 traffic mitigation plan. I'm sure many of you have heard me say this on and on many times. If you travel down Route 52 by John Jay High School, you can see it there. It's begun, it's moving rather quickly, which I'm happy to see. So thank you to Dr. Bonk for all his help, his professionalism. He's a breath of fresh air compared to the former school superintendent, I should say, that was there before him. And I thank you to our police department as well with all the help they do with our school district. Speaking of traffic mitigation plans, I mentioned last meeting we were awarded 2 grants from New York State. One for the Route 52 traffic mitigation plan, which is moving along, like I said, and the other is for the Hopewell Hamlet Route 82 traffic mitigation plan. The Route 82 plan right here in the Hamlet includes roundabouts, 2 roundabouts, and I understand there's some angst I hear from certain members in the social media or whatever that they don't care for roundabouts, but all I can say is that the town, New York State Department of Transportation, we will be having multiple information meetings, giving an education to the public about the benefits of roundabouts. They are very beneficial. They keep traffic moving, and it's much safer for pedestrians in a hamlet setting. So that being said, we do have a lot of work to do with this. The roundabouts that New York State is funding are for Route 82 at the intersections of 82 and 376 by St. Columba Church, and the other one at 82 and 376 by Frankie Superette. So we did have 2 applications in. The other 2 were for the main strip by Trinket and Unity, which we will be applying for as well. We are meeting with our engineers and our traffic consulting engineers, Hudson Valley Engineering. We'll be having a meeting with them with New York State Department of Transportation about this project and the bridge project and the roundabout at Beekman Road as well, which has been approved last year on the traffic improvement program for Dutchess County and up at Dutchess County. transportation. So we have a lot going on. There's a lot of different moving parts here. We have the project for the bridge and the roundabout at Beekman Road. We have the 2 roundabouts that have been awarded now. So we have to get a plan together with New York State Department of Transportation and our consultants to make sure we're all on the same page and that we mitigate any problems that will happen for our business community and the residents as well. So I will keep everybody updated. It's a very fluid situation going on with many moving parts, like I said, so I'll keep everybody updated best I can. I had a meeting with the Dutchess County IDA, that's the Industrial Development Agency, about a new project. I mentioned it last month, which was the old Sports Dome site. The property has been sold to new owners. They're moving forward with a proposal for a newly constructed logistics center to go there, which for those who don't know what a logistics center is, mainly it's a warehouse. Of course, the town would be happy to have seen the Dome project come to fruition, but those matters are out of our hands. This is private property, it's a private deal, private business. The town does not say who gets to buy these properties, okay? Just as much as the town doesn't have a say on who buys your home. All we have to make sure is that they follow New York State laws, town laws, to make sure that the property is owned correctly and this project does meet that criteria. So the Industrial Development Agency wanted to discuss with me, but mainly the applicant, about how many jobs are going to be produced there and what kind of investment they will be actually spending there. They will know that they will not know the approximate job count yet because this building will be built to spec, and that they won't know until they have an end user. They do have several large nationwide companies looking to come there, but they don't know which one yet. Once they identify that, then they will identify the amount of jobs. But they will be spending upwards of $100 million on that project. And these are all benefits to our community. And not only our community, the Dutchess County and the entire Hudson Valley. This benefits everybody. These type of businesses, they will be paying taxes. So people who say that they don't, they will pay taxes. And these are industrial sites, so there's no homes being built there. There's no children to attend the schools. Those tax dollars go directly to the town, the county, and the school district. So I don't see how this is a negative impact. This is our positive impacts for our community. Again, I'd like to thank the town board, thank the Economic Development Committee for all the steadfast economic development policies that we put in place, and they are paying off now, as we can see. And this started with the former administration, our Supervisor Hickman. He started this, and we've been moving it forward at a fast pace. And basically, everybody knows those sites on the former IBM West campus, they were brownfields looking terrible. So we had to do something. This town board stepped up, continued the work of the former supervisor. So I'd like to thank him, and I'd like to thank our professional staff for all they do. It's a tremendous amount of work to get these projects going. So I thank you all. Last week, I attended the Dutchess County Regional Chamber of Commerce's Contact Breakfast. They have that monthly. This month, they had a guest speaker, Sonia Smith. She's the New York State Small Business Development Center Director. She discussed all different programs that New York State has to offer for small businesses and how they can assist them. So great information, a lot of packed house, over 250 people there. And if any small businesses want this information, please call my office or look on the website. We will provide a link to the New York State Small Business Development Center. The Dutchess County Regional Chamber of Commerce, they do a great job. I've said this many times. They do all different programs, networking for all the different businesses, especially small businesses. It's a great, great tool. So if you want to join, if you're a small business, want to join, please do so. It's a big benefit. Their next big event, actually, for the Dutchess County Regional Chamber of Commerce is their annual Hot Air Balloon Festival, which is September 2 through 4 at Timor Park in Unionvale. And that's a really nice event to bring young children to see the balloons go off. It's really impressive to see. So if you could get there, please do so. This past Wednesday, we had our all-inclusive day at the beach here at Red Wing Park. This event started a few years ago. It's tailored to adults and children with all different abilities and sensory levels. We had a music tent, face painting, vendors, food vendors, sand art, games, and of course swimming. This was tailored after the Dutchess County Think Differently initiative that the county executive started. And East Fishkill, we've been up front, at the forefront of all things for children and adults with abilities. We started Julie's Jungle many years ago, which is a huge success. Many people utilize that park all the time. So we are not new to this. And the county executive was very happy to see this. He did come by to say hello, which we were all gone by then, but he did come. So thank you to the county executive. And thank you to our recreation staff, our rec directors, Jessica and Bill, and our assistant director, Christine. Thank you for all your hard work. It was a great event, another successful event for our recreation. The New York State Controller, Tom DiNapoli, he sends out a weekly update to municipalities with all different sorts of information, but this month he sent out a notice about New Yorkers struggling to pay their utility bills and how the pandemic-related job losses, they are creating significant increases in the number of people who are struggling to pay their utility bills. And failure to pay these bills could result in shutoffs, service shutoffs, which that also will increase economic stress on families. It damages our local economies because then people have less money to spend at our local businesses. It produces job losses. So it's just a negative thing. So the Public Service Commission has acted to provide some relief to low-income customers through the Utility Arrears Relief Program and the Phase 1 Arrears Reduction Program. If you or anybody know anyone struggling to pay their utility bills, please check out the New York State Controller's website for this information. We will add the link to our website, so it'll be a little easier to find. It's getting more and more difficult to find extra dollars to spend in the local economy with the high inflation, gas, food, everything. Everybody sees prices are out of sight. And what hasn't been discussed yet is how this is going to impact all different government agencies. We all know, we see our own household budgets, we see how much we're spending on fuel and everything else, and just think about how that's compounded to government. We do keep a very careful watch on the expenses that we spend in town, and we have already met our fuel budget for the year, so we will be looking to transfer dollars from our fund balance to the regular general fund to pay for the fuel that we need to do the daily work for the police department, highway department, everybody. But just think about that on a county level, on a state level, on a federal level. All these budgets are going to be increased, and eventually this catches up with the taxpayer. So that's why it's very critical. It's critical for us to keep our economic development policies in place, attract new companies, come here, build new businesses, produce new jobs. That helps the economy out. You know, there's all these crazies on social media who they negatively discuss these projects that we're trying to get passed here and that they won't lower our taxes. That's not true. That's wrong. It will help us. These are new tax dollars coming into our community. These are the tax dollars that will offset larger tax increases for our regular residents here. So please do not listen to these people. This is such a very important matter. Economic development is critical. East Fishkill has the most economic development in all of Dutchess County by far, and the county executive calls and thanks us for it because he knows that these dollars help out all budgets of all kind. So when you hear negative comments on social media or misinformation, because there's a bunch of cowards on social media who like to throw out the misinformation, call us here on the board. You know us, we answer the phones, we'll get you the right information. And for those cowards that spread the misinformation, come here to the town board meeting. Why don't you come here and ask us the questions? We'll give you the answers. But I know what the answer is. They don't come because they're liars. They don't want to come here and made fools of. But if the residents care about what we have to say about the truth, please call us. This past week or the last week, I saw all this misinformation about food trucks going on. Well, you know what? a resident called me and said, how can you hinder some of these businesses with these laws you're trying to do? I said, the town board is very pro-business, number one. Number two, we pass these laws to protect not only our brick and mortar local businesses, but also give a chance for some of these food trucks to have their businesses here in town properly, because these food trucks need to be checked by the Department of Health, by the building department, to make sure that they're up to code, because they're serving food to the public. We have a responsibility to the public to make sure it's safe for people to go and spend their money and eat there. So we don't just do this willy-nilly. We make sure that everything is done properly. And for the people who spread these lies, like I said, come here, we'll give you the correct information. Okay? Social media, basically, they try to sabotage the town board and other people, saying that we're trying to take advantage of our residents. This town board, all we care about is making sure our residents are safe, our businesses thrive, and that everybody's happy living in this community, because we have a great community. We have great employees, we got a great police department, and we have a great town board who cares about your residents. So please call us if you have any information that you want to know that is correct. And besides that, that's all I have tonight. So, Mr. Clerk, would you call the roll?
Councilman Franco? Present. Councilman Beepan? Present. Councilman Marinaro? Present. Supervisor D'Alessandro?
Present. Thank you, Mr. Clerk. So tonight what we'll do is we're going to change the order of things. We're going to do the first resolution first, because we got a lot of people here for that. So, Councilman Beepan, you want to do the first resolution?
Absolutely. I make a motion we appoint Austin Nichols to the position of detective in the town police department.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion. So we have had a vacancy in the police department. Our Detective Ryan Angeletti retired, making a vacancy, and the Officer Nichols has been up at our task force up at Dutchess County doing a wonderful job. Chief, would you like to add anything?
So it's been about 4 months now he's been filling in for Detective Angeletti, and he's done an outstanding job. As a result of his short time, numerous illegal firearms, piles of illegal drugs have been removed from our streets, and that alone has definitely saved some lives. So I think it's appropriate time to promote him a little bit ahead of schedule. We're going to let him work a little bit more, a little bit harder, but he's done an outstanding job, and I'm looking forward to handing him this shield.
Excellent. Board members, any comments or questions?
Well deserved.
Great job on the cases you've done so far.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations.
So one of my favorite things is handing an officer their brand new shiny shield. I consider an honor, and I'd like to extend that honor to my former boss, former Chief of Police Brian Nichols, to issue his new detective shield to his son. Brian, you remember, right?
Get the cameras ready. You want to get a picture with the new detective? always nice to see. A lot of
Gotta clear the room out.
fun events, that'll clear the room out a little bit. Okay, so we do have two public hearings tonight. First public hearing, which is adjourned public hearing. It's an adjourned public hearing.
Everybody out.
Consider the omnibus zoning amendments. Do I have to reopen the public hearing? I have to reopen the public hearing?
Yes.
Yeah? Do I have a motion to reopen the public hearing for the zoning amendments?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing now reopened. So we had this last month or the month before?
It was last month. It's been referred up to Dutchess County Planning as required by law. They're making comments, so we'll be coming back to you. And this omnibus law, it modernizes our accessory apartment law. Doesn't change, the town's always allowed accessory apartments in owner-occupied single-family homes. What our old law did not do is provide a method that when a property changes hands, that the permit has to be renewed to ensure that it's still owner-occupied. That's the whole crux of that. Secondly, it enables residents, there's been a great demand, I understand, for having modest amounts of chickens on certain properties. This would enable it. It's one chicken for every 2/10 of an acre. And it's, as required by the humane laws, there's certain process that there has to be a facility with certain square footage and fencing and everything so that it fits into a residential community without problem. There are also some modifications, as this board does from time to time, monitoring the Zoning Board of Appeals. Sometimes you see a particular section come before the zoning board many times, which kind of indicates that maybe some adjustment has to be made to it. So in this local law, there's some modest adjustments to the town's fence law. And basically, the major change is the rear line of the house is now being moved to the front line of the house, so straight out for fencing, certain fences, it's all set forth in the law. So tonight it would be if there are any comments to take them and to adjourn the public hearing until September, by which time we'll have received Dutchess County Planning Department's comments.
Okay, very good. So we haven't received comments from Dutchess County yet, so we will adjourn this till September and then enter those comments into our law potentially. Okay, very good. Does the board have any comments or questions? We discussed this last month in detail. Anybody in the public wish to speak about this proposed law? The zoning amendments? We will reopen the public hearing in September, so if anybody wants to come at that time to make comments, please do so. So do I have a motion to adjourn the public hearing until September voting meeting? So moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing adjourned. Thank you. Second one, do I have a motion to open a public hearing for the local law to adopt modifying the term of the office of town clerk?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing now opened. So several years ago, we did pass a law, local law, that changed the town board and the supervisor and the town highway superintendent to all have 4-year terms, which the town board does, but supervisor and the highway superintendent did not, and to have term limits of 4 consecutive terms. So that, all this does is we pass this law, and then it goes on the ballot, and the public votes on it. We don't vote on to allow this. So all we are doing is allowing this to get on the ballot, to get on the November ballot for the people to decide. So back then, what we did forget was the town clerk and also the receiver of taxes, to make sure that everybody has the same 4-year terms and 4 consecutive terms limit. So this would now, this would go on the ballot, and if it approved, then everything would be exactly like I said. 4-year term for all offices and a 4 consecutive term limit for everybody. That's correct, right?
Absolutely. There has been one little change in process during the last session of the state legislature, and the governor signed the bill. It now modifies the timing of it so that the board tonight can consider a vote on this law and still have it on the ballot. It used to be, up until about 45 days ago, that these kind of laws had to be adopted not less than 30, no more than 90 days before an election. So our plan had been to hold the public hearing tonight and adopt it in August. But due to the recent change, the state legislature now says you can adopt the law and submit it at the general election in November, as long as the election's more than 60 days away, which it is.
Oh, very
So
good.
if the board wants to take care of it all tonight, you can do that. We
Excellent.
don't have to adjourn it back.
Excellent. Let's start with public comment. So does anybody in the audience wish to speak for or against us adopting, modifying the term of the office of town clerk and extending the term limits to clerk and receiver of taxes?
I have a question, not any objection. So the way the language went this evening is, or was, that it is limited to 4 consecutive terms. Does that mean if a representative did 3 consecutive terms and then there was a skip, they can do 2 or 3 or 4 more?
Yes.
That's affirmative? Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I'm not staying that long. He's not staying that long.
After this week, I don't think he will.
Anybody else in the audience wish to speak for or against this going on the ballot? Town board members, comments, questions?
I think it's good that we get everybody
Pretty
on the same field.
straightforward, right?
Same playing field.
Well, we're giving the decision back to the people so they could vote for or against it in November.
Yes, and just so the public knows that on the ballot in November, it shall read, shall local law number C of 2022, making the term of office of the East Fishkill Town Clerk 4 years and limiting the number of terms that all elected town officials can serve to 4 consecutive terms be approved effective January 1st, 2024. So that's how it will read on the ballot, and the public gets to vote. No other comments or questions? Okay. With that, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Public hearing closed. And do I have a motion to adopt this local law? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Local law adopted. Thank you. Everyone received the June 23rd, 2022 minutes? Mr. Clerk, were there any changes, alterations?
No change.
Modifications? No?
No changes.
With that, do I have a motion to approve the June 23rd minutes?
So move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes now approved. Thank you. We do have one addition to the agenda, which I will do last, and that is appointing a member to the zoning board. We did an interview earlier tonight, an executive session for a zoning board member, which we desperately need. I'll do that last. Courtesy of the floor, anybody in the audience wish to speak on any general town issues, anything on the agenda, anything whatsoever, now's your time. There's the county legislator.
Good evening. So yeah, I just want to give you a quick update from the county. Things are slowing down a little bit in the summer, but there's been a flurry of activities over the last couple months. Just last Friday, I attended Marcus Molinaro had an announcement of the 2022 Municipal Investment Grant Awards. It was held at the Arlington Fire District headquarters. Nice little event with a lot of people showing up there. And he announced a total of 38 projects for $4.6 million to be distributed around the county. And I just want to let everybody know that the East Fishkill Police were the beneficiaries of $150,000. This will cover the cost of some new software which will allow them to migrate to the county system. And I think the benefits that I've been told of the system, it'll reduce response time and increase safety for all of our first responders. So we're happy to get that money here to the town to benefit not only our first responders, but all our residents, as they will benefit from the increased response
I'm even
time.
happier.
Yes. So, so a great item here for us here at the town. Then earlier this month in the legislature, I was one of the sponsors for a resolution to allocate $725,000 to Camp New Teaming to support youth activities at the camp this summer. If you remember, the county bought that camp back in April. So to try to introduce people to the camp and provide organizations with the opportunity to come there and see the facilities and enjoy the camp, we allocated some money at the legislature for this, and East Fishkill Summer Camp did benefit from that. Okay, I guess just today, 70 plus campers and counselors all went up there. The county covered the cost of the transportation and everything to get them up there. So I'm hoping that the kids had a great day up there to travel up there for just a different atmosphere for their summer camp. And, the facilities that they have up there, they have, a much larger facility, walking trails. I know they have a turf field up there, soon to come here to East Fishkill, from what I heard
We'll
earlier.
see with that price.
No. So anyway, so again, another benefit to our residents here and our kids here in the town. So I was glad I could support that resolution. And then just to note, there's 2 grant programs underway. The second wave of the Learn, Play, Create opened up just about a week or 2 ago. So if there's anyone out there that has an application, please send it in. And we also have a Veterans Microgrant Program. Okay, this is open to nonprofit organizations and municipalities. So I've already talked to Tom Franco, Councilman, about getting something here in East Fishkill, and also talking to the people representing the VFW and Wappingers. They also have an application in this, but if there's anybody, even outside the town, involved in veterans programs, this is an opportunity. I think it's up to 15 or 20,000 is the cap. I can't remember.
15,000.
15,000. Thanks, Tom. Is the cap. So, if you know of an organization, we're trying to spend our ARP monies, and try to really target it to areas that deserve our benefits: youth, children, first responders, and our veterans. All areas that we really want to help in this with the extra money that we've received in the past. So
That's great.
that's it for the county.
That's great. Good thing Councilman Franco, he did some grant writing in college. He's going to write the grant for us. Actually, we might put him in charge of all the grants of the town. I'm thinking of changing everything up here.
Great
All right,
idea.
good. I'm sure he'll do a great job. So, all right, thank you.
Thank you, County Legislator. Anybody else wish to speak on any general town issues, anything on the agenda items? There's a lot of agenda items, so anybody
I'll make it
wanna-
brief. I don't know if this is the proper venue, but I'd like to make a public announcement if it's appropriate, and you can reel me in if it's not. August 23rd is a primary.
No, that's it.
Okay.
No.
No, are you serious?
I'm
I can
kidding.
talk? Say? Don't?
No, August 23rd is what?
It's a primary. It's a
Oh,
primary
yeah,
election, August 23rd.
Yeah?
The town of East Fishkill has unfortunately been carved out for our congressional district, and it's extremely important for people to get out and vote.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We will be advertising it. Thank you for reminding everyone. Anybody wish to speak on any general town issues, anything on the agenda, anything whatsoever? Public service announcements, anything?
Geese?
Nothing? Okay. Nothing for receipt and file. We did Resolution 1. So, Councilman Franco, could you do We are going to group them tonight because we have a lot of resolutions pertaining to the same issue with grant applications and such. So, Councilman Franco, would you do 2, 3, and 4?
Okay. Authorize grant applications. I move we authorize grant applications for Downtown Revitalization Initiative, update of master plan, and for radio read water meters.
Okay, thank you, Councilman. Do I have a motion to adopt resolutions 2, 3, and 4?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion. So all three are for grant applications. The Downtown Revitalization Grant, called the DRI, I've discussed that multiple times. This is for a large $10 million grant, and we could use that in multiple different ways. We have already started discussing this with our planner, our grant writer, our economic development director, our comptroller, our town engineer, and it's a big application, huge application actually, but the benefit is significant. It's $10 million. We have many things that we could utilize that for. The other resolution is for the a planning grant, which we are looking to redo our master plan. I've discussed that many times. And the third is a grant application for what is that? For the meter reader replacement, right?
Radio read meter.
Oh, radio meter, water radio meters.
Right.
Yes. Any comments or questions? No? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. Okay, Councilman Marinaro, would you do 5 and 6, please?
I move we authorize bids for water and sewer treatment chemicals as well as for sludge, hauling, and disposal.
Thank you, Councilman. Do I have a motion to adopt resolutions 5 and 6?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion? So time to time, we use a lot of chemicals in our water treatment, and we do haul our sludge from our wastewater treatment plant. So it is time to advertise for these chemicals and for this hauling to see if we could get a better price. The price has been going up significantly, engineer?
Well, fuel definitely affects sludge hauling and chemicals going up as well, so.
It doesn't hurt to throw it out there, right?
Yes, we spent a lot of money on both of these.
Any comments or question by the board? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. All right. Number 7, Councilman Bepan.
I move we reschedule the August town board meeting to August 18th, 2022.
Thank you, Councilman. Do I have a motion to change the August meeting to August 18th instead of the 25th?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion? So we had a couple, myself included, and some of our professionals that the 25th did not work for our meeting, and we only have one meeting in August, so we needed to reschedule that to August 18th. Any comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. Number 8, Councilman Franco.
I move we authorize food trucks to use town-owned sites.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve locations for food trucks?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion? So this has been a little source of contention on social media, like I said in my comments. We do have town properties where we can allocate the space for food trucks to go and do their business there, which is wonderful. Like I said in my comments, they think that we're trying to hinder business. That is absolutely not true. We are just looking to make sure that they have a proper spot where they can park, where people can access it very easily, and also we protect our brick and mortar stores in the hamlets to make sure that they're not parked in other areas where they can potentially have conflicts. So we did locate our property owned on Route 52 right by the Taconic State Parkway, which is a great location for a food truck because there's a lot of traffic there. And that would be one site. And also we can, when people do ask to put, we did pass a local law, so if any food trucks wish to utilize other town properties, they can apply for the permit in the clerk's office, and then the town board will consider that application as well.
And part of the reason we can't do a blanket approval yet, is that we have concession contracts. So next year, when we go out to bid for the concessions, we'll have to make some exclusions around that. That would free up more time periods that won't interfere with the vendor that wins the concession bid.
Right, so we already had those contracts approved at the beginning of the year for the concession stand, people who bid for the concession stand, so it wouldn't be proper if we pulled the rug from under them since they were counting on that, the business there. Any comments or questions by the board? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. Councilman Marinaro, would you do 8, 9, 10, and 11, I'm sorry?
I move we authorize the design of Route 82 Service Road, amend building permits fees, and set a public hearing to consider design standards for the hamlets.
Thank you, Councilman. Do I have a motion to approve resolutions 9, 10, and 11?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion. Okay, number 9, HBEA, there are traffic consultant engineers, like I discussed earlier. We were approved for 2 roundabouts in the hamlet, and we're looking to extend that as well. This would authorize our traffic engineers to do a study on the feasibility of having a back road behind the businesses on the right aid side of Route 82. What is that, is that the west side?
Or south.
South, east and west, south, I'm all confused here. So the south side of Route 82 would go behind those businesses, which would be a town road. So we're trying to see if that is possible, because as I've mentioned many, many times, it's critical for us to have that road in place when we do these roundabout projects, so traffic can get in and out for all the businesses on that strip. So we do not want to hinder any businesses on that strip, and this would be the first step, making sure we could get a road in there. Number 10, we were amending some of the building permit fees. Currently, there was a fee that we did new at the beginning of the year when we did our reorganization meeting for COs. We amended that, and also a building permit fee for additions in new buildings. Number 11 is set a public hearing for the design standards. We do have a moratorium on Route 82 to discuss the design standards for new businesses and businesses that wish to do a redesign, refurbish their buildings. We did hire Saratoga Associates, which did a comprehensive study, which we will discuss at the public hearing, which will be on August 18th. Any comments or questions from the board about those 3? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. Councilman Buchan, would you do 12 and 13, please?
I move we table appointing part-time fire inspector and adopt the standard workday for New York State retirement system purposes.
Thank you. 12 is tabled, thank you. Okay, so 13, do I have a motion to adopt a workday and reporting resolution?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion. This is standard by New York State, wanting us to make sure we do our reporting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. Number 14, no. We're going to do, Councilman Franco, 14 and 15.
I move we award a professional services agreement for surveying services and declare lead agency for the Hudson Valley Logistics Center.
And 15? Oh, yes, sorry.
14 and 15.
Thank you.
Correct, yep.
Do I have a motion to adopt 14 and 15?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion? So the surveying services for Hopewell West, what are we, I forgot, what are we doing there?
Well, in the past, we've used our consultant, CPL, to do our survey work, but we did, it's a kind of a large project. We did solicit other quotes, and we'd actually saved, a fair sum of money finding another company to do the survey work, so that's what that's for.
And this is for the large project for Hopewell West, we
With
got the grant
the
for?
WE2 grant, correct.
Excellent. Okay, and number 15 is the project that I did mention in my comments earlier. This was the old Dome site. This is proposed to do a new logistics center there, and all this is saying is that the town board is declaring lead agency for the project. Under secret review, that's necessary. Any comments or questions by the board? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. Councilman Marinaro, number 16.
We authorize an agreement with the MTA for biking path and walking trails in the hamlet.
Thank you, Councilman. Do I have a motion to authorize me to sign the license agreement with the MTA?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion. Town engineer, you want to give us, the town board, a little overview on the agreement with the MTA and how long and arduous this has been?
Well, I have to give credit to our Economic Development Director for spearheading it through and taking all the pushes that you need to do with the MTA.
Did a great job.
So this would take along the right-of-way from where the rail trail ended, all the way through to 376, the area that the tracks go through. Right now, there's many derelict vehicles there, et cetera. This agreement gives us the right to get rid of those vehicles, to force them to be moved, and it will allow the extension of the rail trail, parking, amenities, the beautiful plans that are already partially implemented, and to be implemented. And so whenever you do this, we have to enter into an agreement with the Metropolitan Transportation Authority, pledge the next born generation of children of the town to secure it. But it's no cost to the town, but we insure it, we indemnify it, we follow their rules and regulations, and hopefully just have the quiet enjoyment of that area.
Excellent, yes, and we were awarded a grant from Dutchess County to do a linear park there, which the Economic Development Director has been working on, which will help people who traverse the rail trail enter into the hamlet and spend some money in our local businesses. It's going to be wonderful. Any comments or questions by the board? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. I'll sign that right away for you. Number 17, Councilman Bepan.
I move we authorize the hiring of part-time typists.
Do I have a motion to appoint temporary part-time typists?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion. So we have 1, 2, 3 people to be appointed. This is a part-time temporary typist position for the town hall. It's hard to find anybody. Please, if you are interested in doing any part-time work, please come to town hall, come to my office, we'll give you an application, and we'll put you on the agenda and hire you, because we could use help, please. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. Councilman Franco, 18, 19, and 20?
I move the following with respect to the Hopewell Hamlet wastewater treatment plant. Adopt a negative declaration, authorize a bond for improvements, and authorize a grant application for same.
Okay, do I have a motion to authorize resolutions 18, 19, and 20?
To move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion? Town engineer, this is all for the Hopewell Hamlet, water, wastewater treatment, right?
Yes, the next several, in fact, are for grant applications for various infrastructure that we have to try to see if we get more funds.
So these are all necessary resolutions that we have to attach to the grant applications. They require these resolutions, so that's why they are bunched, but they have to be separate.
And it may also be worthwhile to point out to those who might watch at home and read the agenda and misinterpret something, each of these projects, the town board's authorizing a quote-unquote bond resolution. The reason for that is that these grants require the town to be ready to go with the project. Doesn't mean we have to go with it. But having a bonding resolution duly adopted, going through the publication period, is a requirement. If we get the grant, we'll do the project. If we don't get the grant, we're not borrowing the money.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to clarify that, so if anyone scrolls through the documents that the town clerk posts, that's why there's a bond resolution to qualify for the grant.
All right, like I mentioned in my comments, a lot of misinformation out there.
Correct.
Every day.
Social media land. Okay, do we have a motion and a second? Any other comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. Councilman Marinaro, would you do 21, 22, 23, and 24?
I move the following with respect to seeking grant for the containment of emergency contaminants. Declare lead agency and adopt negative declaration, adopt bond resolution, and authorize grant application.
Thank you, Councilman. Do I have a motion to adopt 21 through 24?
So move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion. Engineer, this is another grant application for the emerging contaminants for PFOA, PFOS. As everybody at home has heard me say many, many times, New York State has mandated now that all public water systems test for PFOA and PFOS, which are very bad chemicals. They're forever chemicals, which never leave the water, whether you dilute the water or whatnot, they stay in there forever. So we are trying to get grants to mitigate some of the hits that we've had in some of our public water systems, and these are all resolutions needed to apply for the grants. Anything else you'd like to add, engineer?
No, I think that pretty much sums it up.
Very good. Any comments from the board? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much. Very important resolutions those are. Councilman Franco, would you do 25 through 28?
I move we adopt the following with respect to a well recovery program. Declare lead agency, adopt a negative declaration, adopt a bond resolution, authorize grant application.
Thank you, Councilman. Do I have a motion to approve resolutions 25 through 28?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion. This is at the Four Corners, correct, engineer?
Four Corners and Cannon.
And Cannon. Cannon is across the street for everybody at home who might not know. Those are our Cannon wells. So we are applying for grants for Four Corners water and Cannon well source. Any comment from the board or questions for the engineer? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Okay, number 29, Councilman Marinaro.
I move we authorize seeking bids for electric messaging signs at the town hall and recreation entrance.
Thank you, Councilman. Do I have a motion to authorize the bids for the electric signs?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion. So we've been discussing this for a long time. It's been one of those projects that we never have time to do, but I said we have to get it done. We're at the point in town where we have this sign outside that we put up the letters, and we losing letters, we can't find the letters,
And they don't make them anymore.
and they don't make them anymore. We looked on Amazon, we looked on all sorts of sites, so it's time to come into the 21st century with the,
Does Bill Green know about this?
oh, if Bill Green hears this, he's gonna buy me a Christmas present.
He's been advocating for these signs since before electricity was discovered.
Exactly. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. Number 30, Councilman Bepan.
I move we authorize an agreement with the Wappinger Central School District for a second resource officer.
Excellent. Do I have a motion to authorize the second SRO at Van Wyck?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion. I mentioned in my comments, we been having negotiations with the Wappinger Central School District and the superintendent, Dr. Dwight Bonk, our police chief, myself, and we've come to an agreement for a second SRO at Van Wyck Junior High School, which is very necessary. Everybody sees what's going on at home. Everybody sees what's going on in the world with all these different crazies at the schools, and it's best if we have one of our police officers there overseeing the protection of our children. So we have an agreement here, which the board will authorize me to sign, and then the police department will decide on who the second SRO will be. Any comments or questions from the board? Any comments from the chief?
Thank you for your help. There was a lot involved in getting
Yeah, it was a
the
lot to
contract
do
done.
with this. It was.
Appreciate the help.
Yeah, thank you, chief. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much. That's a very important resolution. And we do have one from the floor, which I'll read. Appointing a member for the zoning board. We do have a vacancy on the zoning board. Tonight, the town board, we've been advertising for members to please step forward, and please, we need more. We need members of the zoning board, we need members of the planning board, alternates, we need all sorts of boards. We need these, it's very difficult to find people to volunteer their time. I understand everybody's very busy, but this is important for the town. It's important to have volunteers. It's important to have, and actually, we passed a resolution several months ago that we give a stipend to the zoning and planning board members. It's $2,500 a year. You have to come to every meeting, though. Otherwise, you don't get the stipend. So please, if you want to make $2,500, if you're retired, this is a great way to do it. It's once a month for the zoning board, sometimes twice a month for the planning board. Please come to my office, give me an application, fill out an application, or bring me a little resume, and we will interview you. But anyway. No, Bobby, you're exempt. You can't sit on any boards, I'm sorry. So we did have Alberto Paratore come tonight and do an interview with the town board, and this resolution will seat him on the planning board for a term of 4 years. So do I have I have a motion and a second? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. And we do have a budget transfer tonight. Has the town board reviewed it? Any comments or questions? Our town controller is sitting over there steadfast, waiting to answer all any of your questions. Basically, this is transfers, increased appropriations for, like I said in my comments, it's we are over budget in lots of lines because of inflation. It's just a matter of fact, unfortunately. Any comments, Controller?
It's also part of a contract that costs a little bit more this year, but saves money for the town in the long run.
That's even better.
Adjusting for this. So.
Any comments or questions for the Comptroller? Do I have a motion to authorize the budget transfer?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you so much. Okay. Comments. There is our highway superintendent, and I'd like to say happy belated birthday to the highway superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor.
29 years old, you know.
Oh, I
you look
wish.
really good, I gotta
wish.
tell you.
I wish.
It must be all that sun you're getting out there in the roads and paving and everything you do.
We've been busy.
Yeah.
I just want to say that August 2nd, we will be shutting down a small portion of Miller Hill between Short Court and Wonderland Drive to replace 2 rotted out pipes. We have had message boards up for a week just to let everybody know, and just want to give an announcement here. So, I know it's an inconvenience, but these pipes do have to be replaced. We've been doing some in-house paving, small stuff for us on Stormville Road by the Beekman Country Club, and Runenberg Road and Hillside Lake, and also North Mission. Quite a bit of patch on Van Wyck Lake Road and also Mountain Pass. Pipe work and catch basin work on Dogwood, Rushmore, Glen Ridge, Gertz Way, also Mountain Pass. And then preventative maintenance crack fill on Lake Walton, Leetown, Brown Road, and Mountaintop Road. Also, we've done the reclamation on Creamery and Dogwood, which we will be paving here within the next couple weeks. And it's just, we've been busy, potholing, tree work as well. But that's pretty much it for the highway right now.
Oh, it's not that busy.
No, it's, not too bad. Nothing we can't handle.
Good answer. Police Chief, how are you?
Very well. Another good meeting for the police department.
Oh, of course it is. The highway's gonna get jealous.
We work together. No jealousy.
So, County Legislator Steve Caswell mentioned the $150,000 grant he was instrumental in getting for the town police department, as well as Michael O'Brien. I want to thank you for all your help
Instrumental, I sit on that committee.
You abstained. So with that said, not only will it increase response times, but it gives us a connection to the sheriff's office, to the city of Poughkeepsie, to the town of Hyde Park, and to Dutchess County 911. So where we share information and just expedite, brings us to that next level of policing. So it does more than just response times. So we've had a couple major incidences over the past few weeks, and many residents of the town called wanting information, needing to know what's going to be done. How are you going to handle it? What are you going to do? How are you investigating it? And unfortunately, when a major incident occurs, we have to keep some things confidential. We have to wait and follow the law and conduct an investigation where we shouldn't release information because it will not bring the best results. So the two major incidents I'm speaking about, I'll keep it very generic. They were both brought to the best possible conclusions, and again, we weren't ignoring the residents, but in order to bring to the best possible solutions, we had to keep our investigation quiet, and we had so that not only do the people want, the residents want to know information, but we want to keep the other people directly involved not know what's coming.
No outside influences.
So, but those incidents have been brought to the best possible conclusions, and I believe everyone is happy. Moving on to another matter, and this will be my last thing for tonight. So, New York State has changed laws that have affected policing and the court system dramatically. As a result, a lot of towns along the Connecticut border or close to the border are victims of lots of larcenies, especially in the middle of the night to vehicles. What I'm asking the town residents to do is to please lock your cars at night. Please lock your car doors. If you have an item that's in plain view from the window, please secure it in the trunk or bring it into the residence. And finally, please do not leave your keys in the car, your key fobs in the car. Over the last couple of years, or the last year and a half, we've had dozens and dozens of vehicles stolen right from our town because it's convenient to leave their key fob in the car.
Outside, the car's outside the garage?
Yes. And so the last one we just had stolen was recovered in state of Connecticut. It was taken from gang activity involved in shootings, car chases, and also wrecked and also crashed into a police vehicle. So the chances your vehicle is going to come back with bullet holes in it and smashed, and your insurance is going to go up. Please take your keys inside. The consequences of these little things make a big difference in the safety of my officers. We're doing everything we can to put a stop to this. We did arrest an individual for breaking into cars just yesterday, and he was connected to a lot of incidents in the town of Fishkill and in the town of Poughkeepsie. So we got one little arrest out of the deal, put a stop to an ongoing problem, and we closed out a lot of cases for the other police departments. That's it for me.
Oh, thank God. Thank you, Chief. Yeah, this is something. And all these Connecticut, and you know those Connecticut drivers too, and they're taking our cars. You gotta be careful there, Chief. We're gonna go to the town clerk.
When you put a car in the garage, I've had a garage for over 25 years.
A what?
Never had seen a car in it.
Well, the garages aren't made.
Yeah,
We have the garages here, so. There are microphones right there, Mr. Clerk.
Oh, and I never, when I was on the town board, gave you the valedictorian or salutatorian award either, when you
Well,
graduated.
you only had 2 in your class, so you had to win one of them.
Everything's going well. From the length of this agenda, I think I'm going to call in sick tomorrow because there's a lot of people going to be looking for me. But everything's going well, and I'm hoping next month we get a shorter agenda.
Don't count on it.
Things to do.
Councilman Beepan.
I just want to give a big shout out and thank our police chief and the members of our police department for their diligent efforts this month. As the chief mentioned, it was there was a lot of things going on here, and thank you to the public for when they reached out to the board, contact us, understanding that we can't share any and all details, and they definitely worked with us a bit. I asked for that continued cooperation going forward. We hope in a perfect world that we don't have to deal with major incidents and tragedies in the town, but when we do, we have some very skilled and talented people working for our department. So thank you to all of our officers down there. My only other comment is this week we lost a great teacher at John Jay, Mr. Michael Ambron. He was everyone's favorite teacher. I think he won Teacher of the Year every single year I was at John Jay, and he was a great economics teacher. He was a very involved member of our community, and we wish our deepest condolences to his family and loved ones in the John Jay community. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Marinaro.
So it's been very hot and great attendance at Red Wing.
Very nice.
I stopped by over there a few times during last week to see how everybody was doing and spoke to some of the camp directors over there. Everything was going smooth. Everybody was having a great time. And it's a great facility for the local people to come and enjoy. We really keep it nice and neat. So that's, I think that Mr. Bill Green said that last Saturday was record earnings at the booth. And a lot of people came in and used the facility. On another note, like the chief said before, I am starting an awareness program at the town level to talk to a lot of the community people regarding the bail reform law. This, not too many people are aware, when people ask you, what is that all about? And it's a terrible law. This was a law created for personal reasons. Somebody down in Queens County, our family member was arrested and couldn't make bail and made a big issue in Albany and got support, and they created this horrible, horrible law. Unfortunately, because of this law, we're all paying the consequences. There are lives that are lost every day. Because of this law, our police department can't do their job. We pay an enormous amount of taxes to really make sure that our communities and our families are well taken care of. But unfortunately, our law enforcement cannot do their job. The courts misinterpret or don't usually use this law in a proper manner. And many people will commit very bad crimes, especially in New York City. They are out on bail the next day, if not the same day. And then they go out and commit worse crimes than before. And how do we change this? I mean, the only thing that I suggest to the people in our town, in our community, and we, in a smaller scale, are also affected. We're not going to go into some of the details, but there are stuff that is happening in the town of East Fishkill, and it was just for whoever committed those crimes, which were out-of-town people, it was a slap on the wrist. This would have never been the case a couple of years back. So there are some probably good points in this law, very minute, considering what the damage that is caused in our society. I mean, you listen to the news, police officers are attacked, stabbed, some of them lose their lives in New York City. People are getting shot for no reason. I mean, 8 million people down there that they risk their lives, And unfortunately, they can't move someplace else because they can't afford to do that. But we can afford to change this law. And one of the things that we could do is to put pressure on the people that they voted on this law to make sure that they change it back or modify it so that people in our society could live in a comfortable way. So our job will be to pick up the phone or email our legislators from New York City, which is the majority that control, and they put this horrible law in effect, and tell them that we need to change this. It is affecting our lives. The chief said it before. We could give our local enforcement all the upgrades we want, and yes, it's going to make their job better. But at the end of the day, they can't do their job to the fullest because this law stops them in track while crimes are committed. So I suggest that people in my community, in this community, people read about this law. It's not, they make it difficult. Sometimes you have to be a lawyer to really understand all the innuendos that they put in there. But for the most part, it's not that hard to really comprehend what's in there and what should not be there. And we need to put pressure. November is coming around. Elections are important, and this needs to be repealed. I want to thank you for your time.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Franco, how are you?
Fantastic, how you doing?
Excellent.
Councilman Marinaro, I agree with you 100%, and I think the greatest thing that we can do, it will be in November, and especially electing that gentleman right to your right of you, who I know bail reform is a big agenda item for him. And I'm hoping that when he goes up to Albany, he's going to knock some heads and maybe get that repealed or at least altered a bit.
That's the plan.
I'd like to thank Kenny for all the hard work. Where are we standing with Creamery? A few more days or?
Waiting to hear back from the paving contractor, but we are scheduled for hopefully next week.
Okay.
Looking.
Okay, good, because I know I've been
It's coming.
talking to
It
a
is
lot of
coming.
people.
I know it's been a long
They're-
time,
Yeah,
but
they're
it is coming.
very excited about it. Thanks to all those who came out yesterday. Again, I want to thank people for a day at the beach. That was a great event. Of course, our rec director, Jessica Dickinson, Bill Green, and Christine Selbeck. And Chief, thank you for showing up. Just a quick funny story about the chief yesterday. He let some kids get in the police car, which was really exciting for them, a whole bunch of them. And then he realized afterwards that they had wet bathing suits and there was sand all over the place, but he was a great sport, so thanks, Chief. That's all I got.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay, well, I do have to thank the town clerk. The town clerk does a lot of work, and this meeting was a big agenda. There was a lot of moving parts to it. I mean, a lot of information, and he really kept everybody together, concise, sent out all the reminders, and he had tracked down a lot of stuff, and it was a lot of work. Thank you, Mr. Clerk. That's why he's so good. She taught him everything, you see? Our next town board meeting is August 18th, 2022. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.